Welcome to Inside the Win. We'll break down real world wins, showing you exactly how strategic partnership with our experts empowers you to tackle your most ambitious opportunities with confidence. Let's jump in.
What's up, everyone? I am Sam Nelson, VP of CX and AI here at Telarus, and we are back with the CX edition of Inside the Win. We are here to give you insights on how kind of early collaboration with our team can really revolutionize your customer engagements. And joining me today is our very own Michael Baillargeon, our CX and AI solution architect on the East. You may know him as the famous Mikey B, and we want to dive into a specific win here. So, Mikey B, welcome to the show, of course. Tell
Thank you.
us how you got involved in this opportunity that we're going to talk about today.
Well, this one's pretty unique, and I need to go in the Wayback Machine into the early mid 2000s, 2007, 2008. I was at ShoreTel, brilliantly simple, and I was a sales trainer, and the CEO came up to me and said, "Hey, Mike, I feel like not everybody in the company knows our value prop. They don't know our elevator pitch. Can you put together a training that will let somebody in payroll or accounting or engineering, when they are at the barbecue or cookout, depending on where you are in the country, right? And a friend says, "Hey, what do you do?" They're able to kind of pitch it out. And I think Talaris does a great job with that. So I created, along with a colleague, something called Everyone Sells, where it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in an elevator or a cookout or on a boat, and someone says, "So what do you do?" You're ready for it. Fast forward to 2024, probably 24, early 25 maybe. I'm at a cookout, a really good friend of ours down the street, and grilling hamburgers and maybe an adult beverage or two. And he's like, "Hey, Mike, you do phones, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do phones." And what about call center? Do you understand that? I'm like, "I actually specialize in that." And he's like, "We should talk." So I reached out to a really good friend of mine, a TA who I've known for a decade now. And I'm like, "Hey, you want to go on a road trip? Go to this guy's company. He's a good friend. So this is very um, um, friendly ground." And
Mhm.
here's what we learned. They're a logistics company. They have about 12 to 13 locations in New England. And each site was on, check this out, Sam. They were on the
Yeah.
same UCAS platform, but each site had a different contract and different pricing.
Eek.
Eek, right?
Oh my God.
So what we did is we went to three or four of their key sites and we talked to their dispatchers. They're the ones that would dispatch out the yellow buses or the special needs bus or whatever. And we
Okay.
talked about a day in the life. Hey, what's working right now? And they're like, "Well, the phones work and they ring most of the time. What's not working?" "Well, we have all these applications we have to go into. We have a text application, we have an email application. I'm tied to this physical phone, and they ask, I need to walk around." And
Yeah.
the other hard part is they ask us to kind of fill in different offices. So I just can't stay in my office and log into a queue from their office. I actually have to get in my car and drive to their office to log into the queue at their office. So um, it wasn't a very kind of unified platform because it was 12 different contracts with 12 different pricing and 12 different end dates. So we
Hmm.
uh, we talked to the call center leadership team there, and we kind of did the art of the possible. Well, what if we could record every call and put sentiment analysis to that and score it? They're like, oh my God, we can't even listen to calls today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what if people could just log in from anywhere? Oh, that would be fantastic. What if you had a unified view of all the queues? Oh, that'd be great. What if, we did SMS and email and voice all on the same platform, so it's one UI? They're like, "Tell me more." And
Hmm.
it was just an awesome, awesome play. The TA was amazing because they really had to manage all those contracts. So when the first contract came up, it was about $2,500 MRC. So, great. But what happened was it became the domino effect, right? One goes down 2,500, next one 2,500, 2,500, 2,500. Now
Hmm.
you have 12 sites all under a unified umbrella. And then they come to us like, well, Mike, as you know, we're just not a New England-based company. We actually are all over the country. Can you do the same thing in Texas? So then we did
Hmm.
Texas. Now we're into the Midwest and the Southeast. So all told, they have roughly 150 to 175 locations, and we've done 30 or 40 of them. So this is a went from a yeah, I'll take my steak medium rare to this will be, a six-figure biller in a 18-month process. So it's just a
That's
great story.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so remind me, because you mentioned like dispatch. What kind of company was this? You don't have to list the name of the customer, but what did they
Yeah.
do exactly?
Yeah. So they're a yellow bus company. So, you stick your kids on the bus and you wave
Hmm.
goodbye to them and they go to school. So they had the classic yellow buses. They had special needs buses. They also had party buses. Um, but it's just a transportation company. And
Okay.
what we found out is the number one question
Hmm.
a parent calls in on a yellow bus is, "Where's my kid? Is my kid on the bus?" And I never, we sent our kids on the bus and we just expected they were just going to magically make it and magically make it home. But
Right.
sometimes it doesn't happen that way, right? Sometimes a kid gets on the wrong bus. So that was the number one thing, and the dispatchers are amazing because then they would pick up the radios, right, and then they would
Okay.
radio the different buses. Hey, is little Susie on the bus or whatnot? So maybe she on the wrong bus. So that's the number one question. The other big question is to schedule the special needs buses because hey, I have. They also do medical transport. Think of Uber for medical transport. Hey, I have a doctor's
Oh,
appointment. My child's in a wheelchair. I need a very special bus. Come pick them up, take us to that appointment. So they get a lot of calls for that type of scheduling work. They also get from schools. Hey, as a reminder, with the big football game, we need a bus for the football team, the cheerleaders, the band, and all that. Say set up all that stuff. So it's not just an 8 to 5 type thing. It's really it's not quite 24/7, but it's certainly like 6 a.m. to probably 8 p.m. To answer all these calls. So, a lot goes into busing, Sam. It's a very interesting industry for sure.
yeah. Well, and you would think that with all this technology, right, we'd have, I think some people actually track their kids in real time where they're at. But believe it or not, folks, it sounds a lot like companies out there are still getting inquiries about like, hey, where's my kid?
Where's the
Which
bus? The
is
bus is late.
right. Well, yeah, where's the bus and where's my kid? Right. So that's really interesting. So one thing that caught my attention here was when this person came up to you at the barbecue and was like, "Hey, with phones, right?" And so at the end of the day, it sounds a lot like people are still asking about like these physical phones and what they can do to revolutionize that. So is it fair to say, Mikey B, that right now, a lot of folks are still stuck in this era of physical phones and like siloed systems?
Yeah, it is still amazing how many on-premises systems customers are still out there that we're pulling off. I have this slide, and I'm happy to hit me up. I'll send it
Mhm.
to you. I call it the graveyard of PBXs. It has all these logos and names that if you come across these phone systems, they are dead in the water. You do a little happy dance because you just found yourself a lead, right? So we're still seeing that. This particular one, they actually did the right thing. They moved to UCAS.
Mhm.
Um, they just didn't choose they didn't have a tech advisor to really guide them. They did the classic, oh, it's COVID. I'm gonna Google best cloud phone system, and whatever came up first, they just signed the contract, which is why
Right.
it was 12 different contracts with 12 different pricing and 12 different end dates. Um, yes, so there's still a lot of people like that. It's a 90-10 rule. 90% of all clients these days, 90% of the workforce are cool with a soft phone. right? They're
Mhm.
used to these Zoom meetings or team meetings or WebEx meetings or GoTo or Dialpad or Ring Central or Vonage or 8x8 meetings where a headset and they're good to go. But there's 10% where it's like, you can take this phone on my cold dead hand, right? And what's great about is our ecosystem is all of our providers can go either direction. If you want a physical phone, great, here's how you do it. You want a soft phone, great, here's how you do it. It's all about the flexibility. Okay, I've taught my children not to lie, but I'm going to do this is a pro tip, little white fib. Okay,
I
Sam, are you
love it.
cool with
We're
this?
ready for it.
Okay. So I had a client who's like, Mike, I don't want to deal with those physical phones anymore. How do I get people not to use them? I'm like, listen, this is what you tell them. Hey, you know what? Right now there's a supply chain issue and tariffs are going on. We really can't get physical phones. We need to move over to this new phone system. I apologize. Uh, Tell you what, I'll buy you a great headset and use the headset. It's going to be about 2, 3 months before the supply chain, the tariffs, kind of right size things and we can get inventory back in. I apologize. Use that. Go back to them in a couple months after. Hey, do you still want that physical phone? Oh, no, this is great. I can walk around the office and fantastic. I'm good to go. So not a lie. It's a little fib to save yourself from buying a $200 phone only to find it in the desk drawer 3 months later.
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's awesome, Mikey B. Best practices straight out of Mikey B here. Folks, you heard it today, right? Engage us early and often. You never know when you're going to find a lead. Even if people just ask about phones, could absolutely turn into a massive opportunity. So, with that said, stay tuned for our next Inside the Win to learn more about how leveraging our team accelerates opportunities with bigger results. And we will see you next time.